We are so lucky to have Nathalie develop a custom program for our members. And without further ado, let's welcome Nathalie, and really excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol, for this nice introduction, and good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to present to the EFC community this workshop. After a discussion with Carol and the EFC management team, it was clear, especially during session at the Women and the Young Professional Networks, you have expressed a strong desire to get tricks to build confidence. So here I am. This is my humble opinion about how to build confidence and harness your personal brand based on my experience and what I observed, not on any deep research or study. It is not an easy topic to address, and I am not a psychologist, but I decided to be vulnerable and share my journey, some of my story and reflection that I have drawn related to my confidence level, and hopefully unleashing your full potential. This is an information-rich session, so get ready to take a lot of notes. Also, you have received a workbook, I think 2 hours ago, that will be useful for the breakout session, and you will get a copy of the recording from EFC after today's session. So let's start and watch first a video of 3 minutes explaining what confidence level means.
Confidence isn't walking into a room thinking that you're better than anyone. It's walking in knowing that you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. Comparing yourself to another person, that isn't even in your system. There's no thought of comparison. There is no competition with any other human. You are not above anyone. You are not below anyone. That's confidence. When you can get to the place in your life where comparison is dead, where you are good enough, not to others, but to yourself. That is confidence. And you can be good enough right now because you are good enough right now. You might just need to change your mindset. Confidence can be developed in many ways. You can start with your physiology, your posture. If I asked you what a confident person looked like, would you be able to tell me? Of course you would. They look strong, sure of themselves. How are they standing? They're standing tall. How are their shoulders? They are back, upright. They make eye contact. Their head is up, not down. Now a shy or introverted person might say, yeah, well, that's all good for outgoing people, but I will never be confident. Anyone can develop confidence. Some might have to work on it harder than others because they've conditioned themselves into a lack of confidence for much of their life. But anyone can develop confidence. Even the majority of shy people have moments where they aren't shy, like around people they trust, maybe family, friends, or their partner. Moments where they can be themselves fully. So the shyness is selective, which means you can make confidence permanent if you consciously decide to be the person and do the things you do. Not just around those you trust the most, but all the time. Being confident doesn't mean you're loud. It isn't about being the one that has to be noticed. It's the opposite. It's knowing you're great without having to be seen. It's the silent winner. It's the humble champion. If you lack confidence, you can change. If you lack anything, you can change. You can be anything in life, including radical personality change, if you are committed to finding the answers. Unlock the greatest version of yourself, your true nature, of confidence, of pure positive energy. Unlock your authentic power today.
So are you ready to unlock your confidence level now? So this video is a clear demonstration that building confidence starts with a mindset. And my goal today is to remove some of your limited beliefs and give you some call for action. So, but before really digging down, let me explain what is the difference between building confidence and self-esteem. First, self-esteem is your opinion about yourself. People with low self-esteem are unhappy or unsatisfied with themselves most of the time. It takes attention and daily practice to boost a low self-esteem. Now, the difference between self-esteem and confidence is lacking confidence is normally occasionally and not most of the time. So the good news, the call out for action today about how to build confidence level are the same than low self-esteem. So step one, like any business, the first step is to understand your current state. And the question is, when have you lost some of your confidence level during your life? So there is a study from Harvard Health saying as you become older, it is common to lose or some confidence as your body change and you face life-altering event like retirement, health issue, and loss of loved one. A person of level of confidence and self-esteem typically follow a bell curve that you see on the left of your screen. It gradually rises during the late teen age or years, peak during the middle age, and tends to decline after the age of 60. The researchers say the main reason of this pattern is midlife. It is the people typically occupy the highest position of power, status, and importance. They are working, involved in a relationship, and more adventurous about trying new things. In contrast, older adults often lose their role as they enter the late stage of life. I agree with that research. However, there are so many other reasons. So let me provide you some possible life experience that may have occurred to you and that challenge your confidence level at one point in your life. Number one, trauma. Physical trauma like car accident, illness, sexual and emotional abuse, divorce, loss of a child one are some examples. Second one, parenting style. The way you were treated in your family can affect long after childhood. For instance, if you had a parent who compared you to others or told you that you never been good enough, you likely carry those messages with you today. Third one, bullying, harassment, humiliation. Childhood bullying can leave you a mark on your confidence level when it comes to look, intellectual or athletic abilities, or any other area in your life. Also, you can have today humiliating experiences, including workplace harassment or peer group that disrespect or demeans you, make you feel or less willing to speak for yourself or pursue your ambitious goal. The next one, gender, race, sexual orientation, or other categories. Next, misinformation. Lack of self-esteem can come from not knowing the rules of the confidence game. For example, if we think we have to feel confident in order to act confidently, you set yourself for failure. Perfectionism, it's another form of faulty thinking that contributes to low self-esteem. If we believe we need to figure out everything before we take action, those thoughts can keep you from doing the things you value. The next one, the world around us. It's a big one, social media. Many media messages are designed to make us feel lacking. Companies that want to sell products usually start by making you feel bad about yourself, often introduce a problem with your body that you never have experienced or noticed before. It is easy to believe that everyone around you has a perfect marriage, a dream career, being a supermodel. But remember, what people post online is heavily curated and edited. Everyone had a bad days, trust me. Self-doubts, physical imperfection. They just don't post on Facebook. And finally, anxiety and depression. It is common for anxiety and depression to go hand to hand with self-confidence issue. If you've already been diagnosed with an anxiety disorder or a depression, and you're working with a therapist, you're on the right track. If not, you need to get started. So now let me do a little exercise with you. I want each of you to take a deep breath. And I want you to think which of the contributing factors that I have described resonate the most with you. And I would like you to write that down. So you need a piece of paper for sure, all during that session. What specific experiences in your life do you think had the biggest negative impact of your self-confidence? Did you find some? If yes, please put your video on and raise your hand so I can understand if you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Why I'm asking you to do this exercise? Because you need to come in peace with your past. Otherwise, this is holding you back to build your confidence level. The good news, confidence is not a personality trait. It is like a muscle that you exercise. It is a skill. So you decide to be more confident, nobody else. You choose to have a positive mindset and you choose to take care of yourself. And when you do that, the feeling of confidence will come to you because confidence doesn't come from outside. The first thing I want you to remember, it is a decision. And you are the only one who decides, nobody else. During this workshop, we will address six main actions to build your confidence level and harness your personal brand. First, get started and set your mindset. The second one, understanding your emotion. We'll talk about that. Developing an habit. Becoming the hero of your story. Understanding that your vibe attracts your tribe. And finally, you need to take care of yourself. So let's start and let's discuss now where you are right now in your life and how to set your mindset positively. First, confidence is a journey of self-discovery, not a destination. So what I mean by that is you have multiple cycles in life, different times in life. Here in the right side, the Austin Institute model, your life is divided by phases, like life chapters, like a book, a life transition. So I want you to reflect tonight. Yes, you do have homework, like school, sorry about that. And I want you to reflect about your different phases in your life. Let me give you an example, my life chapter, in order for you to understand the concept. So my childhood, I came from a family of good educated parents, architect and designer. But I grew up with this perceived lack of love and constant jealousy every time I was successful due to some family historical issues. Conclusion, my confidence level was really low. So what I did, and what many people do normally, prove it, I can be good and successful despite the adversity. So I went and I started my engineering career at the age of 21. I was on the phase one, you see the little circle one, top left, state of doing. Go for it, set the goals, be committed, proving that I can be successful in my first job as system engineer, building my confidence by my action and goal achievements. Then what? After a year, I went to the doldrum, the phase two, because it was not my passion, my purpose in life, and I chose my career to prove to my parents I can do it and I can be a good engineer. And I was. But not happy at work, I decided to go back to the phase one and find another job in engineering. I did it for 6 years. Again, not my passion, went back to the phase two, the doldrums. Fast forward in my life, got 2 kids, made a decision to do my MBA, change job to marketing and sales, moved to the US, and I started my phase 3, the cocooning and the getting ready, which is really when I started to build my confidence level. How? A distance from toxic people, my family. We will talk about it later today. Tap on my core value. I love strategy and love transforming company, finding my purpose, finding new positive friend in another country. The key there is I was slowly discovering myself, state of being, and had the courage to make changes as I was discovering myself, state of doing. My message here at the end is I stop looking backward, only looking forward and starting to focus on becoming the best version of myself. So you cannot change your past. You can just learn from the past to build your future. And when you are accepting your past, everything is getting much easier. And no need to polish your story of the past. It is what it is. That's it. In conclusion of that slide, I want you to look at your life and understand in which quadrant are you right now. If you are in the doldrums quadrant, you need to tap to your core value, start to work on the state of being, and starting a growing mindset that I will explain in a few minutes, and be in motion, ready for a change. So next slide. Only you can decide to improve your confidence level, and it is a journey, never ends. Now, let's move to the state of being. Growth mindset, the desire to change, this desire to be in action. I would like you to watch this video just over a minute and notice what happened when you change your mindset.
I am part of a lost generation, and I refuse to believe that I can change the world. I realize this may be a shock, but happiness comes from within is a lie, and money will make me happy. So in 30 years, I will tell my children they are not the most important thing in my life. My employer will know that I have my priorities straight because work is more important than family. I tell you this, once upon a time, families stayed together. But this will not be true in my era. This is a quick fix society. Experts tell me 30 years from now, I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. I do not concede that I will live in a country of my own making. In the future, environmental destruction will be the norm. No longer can it be said that my peers and I care about this earth. It will be evident that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It is foolish to presume that there is hope. And all of this will come true unless we choose to reverse it. There is hope. It is foolish to presume that my generation is apathetic and lethargic. It will be evident that my peers and I care about this earth. No longer can it be said that environmental destruction will be the norm. In the future, I will live in a country of my own making. I do not concede that 30 years from now, I will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my divorce. Experts tell me this is a quick fix society, but this will not be true in my era. Families stayed together once upon a time. I tell you this, family is more important than work. I have my priorities straight because my employer will know that they are not the most important thing in my life. So in 30 years, I will tell my children, money will make me happy is a lie, and true happiness comes from within. I realize this may be a shock, but I can change the world, and I refuse to believe that I am part of a lost generation.
This video reminds me constantly where I am about my mindset. And it is a good segue to talk about fixed mindset and growth mindset. Have you heard that concept before? Fixed mindset, it's all about your belief about yourself that is inherent and static. It's locked down. Your potential is set at birth, and that you cannot change it. Your physical body, like your height, is often a good example. So good timing to talk about hockey, the Montreal Canadiens, Cole Caulfield, 5'7", 162 pounds, I think. Fixed mindset will be, I will never be in the NHL because I am considered too small. Lucky us, he didn't have this fixed mindset. What is a growth mindset? It's you believe you can develop anything you want. You put a lot of effort to learn, you're embracing challenges, you confront uncertainty, and you're not afraid to fail. Let me give you another example about me this time. Today, I'm talking to you. I have done presentation in front of 150 people before, but always inside the company I work for and with topics that I am expert on. If I had a fixed mindset, I would never have accepted or entertained the idea to present to you today. Why? My English is by far not the greatest. Sorry about that. I am not a psychologist. I have not done research. And I don't want to look bad in the front of the industry I worked for the last 30 years. But instead, I decided to do it and present today. I decided to have a growth mindset, to learn, go outside my comfort zone, have courage, put a lot of effort to be the best I can, and unleash another potential that didn't practice. Why? Because my purpose is to help people and to become the best version of myself. It is good to know about fixed and growth mindset, but can you trick your mind? Next slide. Our body is wired to resist of change because our brain prefer automatic responses to preserve energy. That is scientific. The bad news is the bigger is your fixed mindset, the higher is your resistance of change. So I repeat, the bigger is your fixed mindset, the higher is your resistance to change. But the good news is you can shift any mindset that is not serving you. That is called neuroplasticity. Repetition and making an habit allows you to disconnect from false belief and reconnect with new ones to finally create new habits. By the way, limited beliefs is normally not true. So the slide that I'm showing you are two cycles. One is the vicious one, the low self-esteem one, and the other one is a high self-esteem. The key is to develop a growth mindset, which allows you to look for opportunity in your life. So the call for action here is to detect when you are going to the vicious cycle, the low self-esteem, and cut your negative self-talk to get back to the virtuous cycle, the high self-esteem. How you do that? What you need to do to change your mindset that will help you to build your confidence. Again, let me take this example of this hockey player, Cole Caulfield, and let me walk through the picture on the left with a fixed mindset. So the mindset is what you see on the gray, light gray. I am only 5'7". By the way, not me, Cole Caulfield, I'm just 5'1". So beliefs, I am too small to play in the NHL today or one day. Thoughts, why I should even try? If I try, I will fail. Action, not practicing and not working hard to become a good hockey player. Result, not being in an NHL. So here are some growth mindset activities you can try. Number one, look at self-exploration. I want you to write down right now to identify a list of series of fixed mindset that you have and start to imagine what the future can be if you are able to overcome those. Imagine what can happen if you change your mindset. What feeling are you starting to perceive? Two, I want you to identify everyday mindset example. I want you to be intentional. Take some sheets of paper and start to identify example of fixed and growth mindset. Number three, take action. I keep saying you need to be in motion. To change your attitude, you need to start doing something. Four, self-reflection, external self and internal self. I like this quote from Brené Brown. I don't know if you know her, but she's excellent. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. We all exist as a two being. The first of this being is an internal self. It has everything to do with what is inside us, our emotional world. This part of us is made how we feel, our deepest desire. It is what makes you, uniquely you. The second of this being is external self. It has to do with everything outside our mind. It's part of us that is made up how we look, how much stuff we have, and how we are perceived from others. It is who we appears to be in the outside world. 5, I need you to research neuroplasticity. I think I want you to be aware what is that concept and how it impacts your life. Also, next point, actively look for opportunities to learn. I want you to be curious and try. And finally, develop grit, perseverance, and passion. How many times do you have been discouraged or stopped doing an action because you didn't have enough perseverance? Example, prospecting for me. Do you know it takes 7 to 13 touches before it's becoming a customer? After 7 touches, you are in fact very close to get your first talk with your prospect, and 90% of the people stop contacting the potential customer after 4 trial or 4 touches. Now, what can you do as a manager? When you have a meeting with your team, ideally, you want your team to be engaged and participative. To be successful, you need to communicate with people, not at people. Let me repeat. You need to communicate with people, not at people. And let me explain. When you're conveying an information or new ideas, a new idea in a meeting, there are people in that meeting who feel uncomfortable to express themselves because they are unsure about their responses. They don't feel they are expert. They don't feel safe to share, not knowing the consequences. They don't talk or very little. As a manager, especially type A, I know you want to be in charge of the meeting, but you don't have to be always the smarter or the strongest member of your team, and you don't need to be the one who resolve everything. You want to ensure that you create an environment that everybody has a voice. For that, you need to create an environment with probing question, positive emotion, and structured process. Like an example, I know it's dated a little bit, but copper is up so much. You know that since some time, and you need your outside sales to call a customer to raise the price of an order. What you need to do as a manager, you need to expose the problem to the team and apply an issue processing. How do I raise my price without losing the customer? Very structured process to facilitate conversation and encourage everybody to bring ideas. The goal is to empower the creativity, encourage them to talk and give positive feedback. Ask powerful questions, being in the shoes of the customer, and ask, if you are the customer, what objection they will ask. So don't answer anything, just trust, give feedback, help them in the process of resolution. Do role play. The goal is to build self-confidence in your team and prioritize the development of your team instead focusing on the result. To close that topic, I love that quote, culture eats strategy for breakfast. When you have a great strategy, but I can say, if you don't have a positive and engaged and productive teamwork environment as a culture, the strategy means nothing. In reverse, if you do have a strong, engaged and self-confident culture, you will see peer-to-peer accountability rising, and it will elevate the level of excellence in your organization, and people will speak up and have a better purpose and feel more recognized, and that will allow you to retain your talents. Mindset is everything. And as a leader, you have the responsibility to create a positive mindset environment. Trust me, you want to empower and build confidence to your team as much as possible, because you will be more successful as a boss and viewed as a good leader. You will feel better to groom leaders. You will not be the bottleneck, and you will have opportunity to go up the ladder in the organization faster, and you will have great results. So please follow those steps. So time to do a little growth mindset exercise. I want you to write down 3 to 5 ways you have grown personally or professionally in the last year. I think about specific skill you have improved. As example, you have become more patient or compassionate. You have 2 minutes to write down. And after that, you will read over in the breakout rooms your list, and you need to notice your internal state. You need to internalize your accomplishment, because what I want you to do is to feel proud, strong, and even relieve your negative self-talk. That means your brain is getting more resilient. So Daniela, back to you for 7 minutes.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Catherine. Welcome back. Natalie, the floor is yours again. Here we go.
Okay, thank you, Daniela. I hope you feel better already, and maybe raise your hand if it's the case since this exercise. Thank you. Okay, to remind you, you are the only one who can decide to improve your confidence level, and it is a journey, never ends, and you need to constantly work on your mindset. So now moving to the next topic, I think in order to grow your confidence level, you need to reflect about yourself and understand what is holding you back. What are your fears? Daniela, can you change the slide? Thank you. It is not an easy process, because it is confusing and emotionally difficult. As I mentioned in the beginning, you need to look at what happened in your past, especially your childhood and key events in your life. So why your childhood? Almost all of your hardware and software of your brain are developed in the first 6 years of your life. And during that period, you don't have the ability to filter logically ability to filter or logically analyze events. So for me, if my mom was telling me at young age I'm not good at sport, then every time I'm playing a sport, the subconscious will retrieve the memory. So you need to recognize the trigger and develop tricks to counter it. The rest is the key events in your life. For example, me again, my mom lost her mom at 6 years old. When that occurred, her thyroid stopped functioning right away due to the trauma. Since that, she had deep fears, and the consequences is she wanted to be loved at any cost and couldn't accept anybody to be successful, not even her kids or her friend. So you need to overcome those fears from the past. You need to try, and you cannot learn if you don't try. You need to experiment, and you need to focus on examples that you have tried and succeed to keep positive mindset and look back on the process, on the progress. As a leader, when you are taking your employee, for example, during the monthly review, you need to always try to understand what is holding employees back to do something. You need to uncover their fears, but you need to do it with empathy, warmth, kindness, and caring. Obviously, you cannot have a fear management style. So maybe you know or not, there are 4 main fatal fears. First one is failure. I need to succeed. I need to absolutely succeed. Consequences, you don't try if you are unsure. For example, I have decided to start my own management consulting company. I never started a business. I never done officially consulting work. I'm not a certified coach. If I had a fear of failure, I will have found another job similar of my resume. Many opportunity came since few months, but that means I will have give up that I wanted to try to pursue, which is my purpose in life. The second one is being wrong. You need to be right. For example, often in meeting, you have the choice to be engaged, raise your voice, or be more the one who listen and don't talk. If it is intentional, fine. But if it is because the fear of staying within the bounds that you are sure, then you need to work on it. The third one, rejection. You need to be accepted. How many times you had a boss or supervisor who didn't want to tell an employee straight what is the situation and decided instead to fire him or her without a clear explanation to avoid a rejection or difficult conversation? Have you experienced that in the past? The last point is emotional discomfort. I have seen a lot of time outside sales who doesn't want to ask for help, who doesn't want their boss to do the ride along, who doesn't want to bring other experts with them during a sales call because it is a sign of weakness and they don't want to be vulnerable. At the end, fear is a liar, and that is a fact. A very common fear is the imposter syndrome and the fear you're not good enough. So the solution is to be in motion, to talk, because you will be surprised where you sit versus others. For example, again, if with Tech Canada, I need to recruit members. Who am I to talk to CEOs and entrepreneurs and ask them to join my group and me giving executive coaching? I've never been an entrepreneur and they are so good. So you know what? After my first one-on-one coaching session, I was shocked how much they needed another perspective and how much I am having an impact after only 2 hours of coaching. So here's my recommendation regarding fears, your fears. Make a list of all the things that scare you and commit to facing one fear at the time, each day or each week, whatever pace you decide. The more small successes you can get under your belt, the better prepared you will be for more significant challenges. Remember the vicious cycle and the virtuous cycle. Fears can trick you into believing the worst case scenario that runs through your head. So, you know, taking action in your life is like a series of dominoes in motion. As an example, in meetings, start by contributing at least to one idea in every meeting. For that, you need to be prepared prior of the meeting. Visualize the positive outcome that can be. This will help you to remove the stress, like athletes. If you feel good and not under pressure during the meeting, the people will be impacted by your positive vibe. And think also, what can be the worst case scenario is normally not that bad. So when you have a fear moment, what can you do? And you need to apply the stop technique. S for stop. You need to stop what you are doing. T for taking a deep breath. And why is so important? That is why it's so important to learn meditation. Just a side note, we always talk about how many days you can survive without drinking. Oh, 8 to 10 days. And without eating, 21 to 40 days. What about breathing? So this is why deep breathing is so important. But again, sorry, I'm drifting. That is another topic for another time. O, to observe what is happening. And finally, P, to proceed. Move back to growth mindset by remembering your why and what you are good at and what are your goals. So again, only you can decide to improve your confidence level. It is a journey, it never ends. You need to constantly work on your mindset and you need to overcome your fear one step at a time. Daniela? Yeah, Daniela again. Okay, ready for another exercise, a self-reflection one. So 2 minutes to reflect alone. And then Daniela will split in group in a breakout room to share your findings for 5 minutes again. But first, let me walk through the slide. Okay, so the first thing I want you to think about is what drives you, what you love. So for me, transforming and helping is my driver. So the second thing is what are your superpower, what you're good at. So me, I am strategic and visionary, I think, and I am a level 4 going to a level 5 per Jim Collins book. What are your fears? Me is emotional discomfort and what is holding you back. So that is my thoughts. So Daniela, back to you again to manage this 7 minutes.
All right.
So
All right.
I hope it was clear for you who you are, and to help me to see if it was a good exercise. Can you raise your hand if yes? Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's great. Okay, next point, we need to talk about creating an habit. And don't worry, we don't have any more breakout rooms to do. So creating an habit. So 3 things we will talk. Number 1, practice. So like any sport, music and languages, change the slide, Daniela. Like sport, music and languages, you need to make it as an habit. Your action need to be repetitive, intentional, and you need to be consistent in your process. So there is no shortcut to succeed. It is hard, it is emotional, and you need to be honest and vulnerable. This is like a snowball effect. And don't forget, this is a journey. So how you make this building confidence an habit? A good way is to keep a journal. Do you have one? If it's that, great, because writing a journal is therapeutic, especially a gratitude one. It is like your business, writing down your KPIs and celebrating small wins. The benefit of a journal is you look back of your progress and achievements. Also, you can realize where you didn't act because you didn't think you will succeed. And a journal is also a very good alternative solution when you don't have a lot of positive people around you. And if you already have a journal for different things, just add confidence as a topic of your existing list. The key is to write and not keep stuff just in your head. So as a leader manager, make it as a personal development initiative. A 5-minute journal in the morning, starting with you by mapping out your day is in an intentional way. Share your story with your staff about the benefits since you are doing that. You can also, as a manager, start a day with a quote, motivational video, probing question. People will write down on their own to-do list. Or share a personal development book. Please, you don't need to do all the pump-up session at the beginning of the day for your staff. Someone else can lead the charge in your team, do rotation. And the advantage of doing different members, the people will be more engaged, they will become more self-aware and ask for more help, and they will start to think differently. So again, I repeat, only you can decide to improve your confidence level. It is a journey, never ends. You need to constantly work on your mindset, and you need to overcome your fear one step at a time. To help you to achieve that goal, you need to practice and having a journaling habit. As a person, if you find yourself stuck in the middle, there is only one way forward. That is a quote from Richard Branson. You cannot accept status quo. You need to claim your superpower, what you are good at, your purpose, your goal, listen to your inner voice, and what is the version 2.0 of yourself. Don't forget, people thrive on accountability and ownership. And as a leader, sometimes you need to have courageous conversation when your team is stuck. People are looking for feedback. It proves you care about them. People want to work with KPI, matrix, and goal. That gives them sense of accomplishment. So again, only you can decide to improve your confidence level. It is a journey that never ends. You need to constantly work on your mindset, and you need to overcome your fear one step at a time. To help you to achieve that, you need to practice and having a journaling habit, and you need to keep moving forward. So next point is becoming the hero of your journey. Click again. Thank you. Accept yourself and don't compare yourself to others. Be authentic. Be authentic, 100% yourself. The next, so with who you are competing against, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. The only person you should try to better than is the person you were yesterday. So how you can achieve it? We will talk about 3 things: perception and comparison, adversity, and finding your voice. The next slide shows that it is an exercise that you should do at home. Again, yes, another homework, sorry about that. And you should continue to work on it regularly. So let me explain first. This is the Hawaiian window, and inside each quadrant, you fill each quadrant with words that represent feeling, experience, views, attitude, skill, intention, motivation, known by you and by others. So I walked you through how dynamic it is. Know by you, by yourself, and know by yourself and by others. This is the open area. Unknown by you, but known by others is a blind area. Known by you, but unknown by others is hidden area. And finally, unknown by you and others is unknown area. The goal is to ask for feedback to others to push the vertical line to the right to increase your self-awareness. Push it, Daniela. Thank you. Also, you need to expose yourself and be vulnerable. This is obviously a full topic about power of vulnerability from Brené Brown, quite interesting. But the goal is to move the horizontal line down. Thank you. Finally, you want to continue your self-discovery, be vulnerable, and share the discovery to push those lines right and down. Push it. Thank you. This exercise is also good for your personal brand. So this can help others understand the truth about your journey and developing a clear and concise elevator pitch. Let me give you an example. An HR director become a warehouse regional manager. An outsider may have no idea what connects those two positions and assume your career path is somewhat random. But you know that your experience in HR talk about how to listen empathically, understand what motivates people, develop a win-win solution, and manage union environment, which all of which are perfect ingredients for operating on the floor. In a nutshell, they are often an opportunity to shape the way you perceive by others. You can also use for performance review with your boss and how you are leveraging your key strengths and showing what you have developed over time. So there's many reasons why you want constantly to discover yourself and expose who you are as is. The second point about improving and competing with yourself is adversity. Don't shy away from adversity. It will introduce you to your inner strength. Adversity doesn't create characters, it reveals it. One of the rules in dealing with adversity in life is that you are only as free as your well-developed alternative. You're only as free as you develop options. So can you be flexible in dealing with your current situation? If not, if you have not developed an option on an alternative, you may become anxious and panicking, and when you're threatened by a certain situation in a particular area in your life. So how to deal with adversity? So step number one, you need to define the problem clearly. So what is exactly the problem? What exactly you are worried about? And you need to make sure it is a single problem, not a multiple one, because everything will get blurry. The step number two is to determine the worst possible outcome. So you need to be frank and you need to be honest with yourself and think about if everything fell apart, what is the worst thing that can occur? Okay. The step number three is to accept what can be the worst. Having identified the worst possible outcome is helping you to be prepared mentally and accepting that can occur. The remarkable thing is that as soon as you stop resisting the worst case scenario, you will relax, your mind will clear up, and your ability to deal with the situation will improve drastically. And it will allow you to do the step 4, which is find alternative solution. Now that you have accepted that the worst case, you think about the question, what do I do now? How I can minimize the consequences? What is the first step you can take? What are the second one and the third one, etc. So that is the way you can deal with adversity. The next point is it's about competing with yourself, is finding your voice, means speaking up. We discussed that earlier. Let me give you an example. You need to go at a Christmas party at EFC. What do you see? People talking to people they know. But is it not the goal to network and talk to people we don't know also? So how you accomplish that? Have courage and set your mindset, the mindset I talked earlier. Claim your superpower. Prepare yourself to be uncomfortable. Think about your approach. You need to be authentic, frankly, prepare powerful questions. Like example, ask who they are, since when they are working in that company. Ask about their journey. What is the biggest challenge they have today? And expand on those questions. What is the consequence if they cannot overcome the challenge that you just described? So be self-aware of your vibe, because the vibe you put out is usually the vibe you will get back in return. Check your posture when you meet people. Set a goal. How many people you want to meet? Be relentless, practice, tweak, and at the end, make it fun, because at the end, you just want to meet and know people. So one point about building your personal brand on this point is sharing your idea publicly. If you keep a low profile and let your work speak for itself, you may develop a good reputation among the people you work closely with, but that is a relatively limited number of people. Content creation is a good way to share your ideas and build a positive reputation at scale. You could volunteer to host a lunch and learn about a topic. Let me give you an example I did. I had a reputation, I think, to groom good leaders and build strong culture inside companies. I decided 2.5 years ago to send a weekly email about leadership habits with facts, quote, tech talks, song, and I was sending that to my entire staff, but also to other function, other division, and even to supplier and customer. That is what we call building content creation. Today, I am publishing weekly a post in my LinkedIn network full of CEO and entrepreneurs. I know personal branding is a fraud for many professionals, but no one to look like a craven self-promoter. But this is a mindset again. That closed that topic. So again, to recap, only you can decide to improve your confidence level. It is a journey, never ends. You need to constantly work on your mindset, and you need to overcome your fear one step at a time. You need to, to help you to achieve that, you need to practice having a journaling habit and keep moving forward, and open yourself for feedback, and always look for options and perspectives, speak up. The next topic is your vibe attracts your tribe. So choose the people whom you are associated with. Look at 2, 3 confidence hero and mentor. Imagine what they would feel when in your situation, and create boundaries with people who bring you down. Remove toxic people. So you need to be surrounded with positive people, and they can be a close friend, family, colleagues, but it can be also a coach or a mentor. For me, I will have loved to have a coach and mentor early in my life to help me to overcome my fears and show me how to reflect quickly on myself and develop myself faster. When I got married, I met my in-laws, and they were my mentors. And this is when my confidence journey started. So for manager, wholeheartedly leadership from leaders is always about love and caring, and want to drive the staff for excellence. And to promote your personal brand, you need to network both inside but outside your organization. Too many people over-index bonding capital. In other words, too many connections who are like them or you, working in the same company, in the same industry. You need to have diversity in your network. You need to constantly and consciously cultivate a broad network. You can make a point in building professional connection with people you meet through hobbies, vacation, relation in proximity like neighbors, or just connecting in LinkedIn when you see an interesting profile. To recap, we're almost there. To recap, you only can decide to improve your confidence level. And it is a journey, never ends. You need to constantly work on your mindset and you need to overcome your fear one step at a time. To help you to achieve that goal, you need to practice and having a journaling habit. Keep moving forward, open yourself for feedback, always look for option and perspective, speak up and be surrounded with people who truly care about you and want the best of you. Finally, you need to take care of yourself. You need to go back to your comfort zone for a few moments only when you have fear and stress, not when you're moving and growing. So you need to have treats and things you like, good one and not forever. Like listen to the music, do a sport that you like. I know many of you like golf, go to a spa. It is to decompress, but you also need to create an habit of taking care of yourself. Exercise. Why? Increasing dopamine and serotonin in your body is make you happy. Meditation and direct positive energy. So you know what to do about taking care of yourself. So to recap, again, a lot today, and I repeat again one more time, you can decide. You are the only one who can decide to improve your confidence level. It is a journey, never ends. You need to constantly work on your mindset and you need to overcome your fear one step at a time. To help you to achieve that goal, you need to practice and having a journaling habit. Keep moving forward, open yourself for feedback, always look at options and perspectives, speak up and be surrounded with people who truly care about you and want the best of you, and finally take care of yourself. Let me finish by boosting your confidence level, and let's watch again after all those sessions, this video to set the tone again. Daniela?
Confidence isn't walking into a room thinking that you're better than anyone. It's walking in knowing that you don't have to compare yourself to anyone. Comparing yourself to another person, that isn't even in your system. There's no thought of comparison. There is no competition with any other human. You are not above anyone. You are not below anyone. That's confidence. When you can get to the place in your life where comparison is dead, where you are good enough, not to others, but to yourself, that is confidence. And you can be good enough right now because you are good enough right now. You might just need to change your mindset. Confidence can be developed in many ways. You can start with your physiology, your posture. If I asked you what a confident person looked like, would you be able to tell me? Of course you would. They look strong, sure of themselves. How are they standing? They're standing tall. How are their shoulders? They are back, upright. They make eye contact. Their head is up, not down. Now a shy or introverted person might say, yeah, well, that's all good for outgoing people, but I will never be confident. Anyone can develop confidence. Some might have to work on it harder than others because they've conditioned themselves into a lack of confidence for much of their life. But anyone can develop confidence. Even the majority of shy people have moments where they aren't shy, like around people they trust, maybe family, friends, or their partner. Moments where they can be themselves fully. So the shyness is selective, which means you can make confidence permanent if you consciously decide to be the person and do the things you do. Not just around those you trust the most, but all the time. Being confident doesn't mean you're loud. It isn't about being the one that has to be noticed. It's the opposite. It's knowing you're great without having to be seen. It's the silent winner. It's the humble champion. If you lack confidence, you can change. If you lack anything, you can change. You can be anything in life, including radical personality change, if you are committed to finding the answers. Unlock the greatest version of yourself, your true nature, of confidence, of pure positive energy. Unlock your authentic power today.
Such a good video. Good timing to recap the action you need to take. So now, number one, get started, set your mindset. What is important to you? Find your passion, find your ikigai, get to know yourself, take action, be aware of your mindset. Number two, understand your emotion, understand your fears, practice the stop concept. Third, developing an habit, practice a lot, keep a journal with small wins to see progress and speak up. Fourth, becoming the hero of your story. Accept yourself, don't compare yourself with others, be authentic, 100% yourself, embrace your uniqueness. You cannot please everybody, just stick to your guns, look at your accomplishment. Next is your vibe attracts your tribe. Choose the people whom you are associated with. Look for 2-3 confidence hero mentors. Imagine what they will feel when you are in your situation. Create boundaries with people who bring you down and remove toxic people. And finally, take care of yourself. Exercise, meditate, direct your energy that it will be better for you to improve yourself and create a better environment. Last, 1-minute exercise. You don't need to go to breakout room just to feel good before you go. You see those redwood trees? They are tall. So please close your eyes. Nobody sees you. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Check your posture. You are tall and feel proud of yourself. Remind yourself what you are good at. Remind yourself about your superpowers. Think about one of your fears, one thing that is holding you back. Now I want you to think about 3 things you are committed to start to work immediately to become a better version of yourself. And keep your eyes closed for 1 minute, for a few seconds. Open your eyes and write those down. And I want you to share with a friend, a family, somebody that you trust today. This person will become your accountability partner to ensure you're doing it. Thank you for listening to me. I know it was a lot of concept and it is a complex topic. So I hope it was useful. Please don't hesitate to call me, text me, email me for any questions. Don't forget, my passion and purpose is to help people and especially this beautiful industry. So don't be shy to reach me. Thank you, EFC, Daniela, for helping me to put everything together, and Carol allowing me to present today.